Hey, and we're back. So hopefully you can hear me okay. I had to take potty break, bio break, all of that. Let's get into Brett. Let's talk about him. He's finally getting the attention that he deserves, I think, but a lot of people still don't know about this whole scandal. I was talking to my mom today and she listens to the news all day. And I was telling her about this scandal and she was like, "Oh no, I haven't heard anything about that." She should have heard something about this. So, Brett, we talked about before. We talked about Brett. So, Brett Favre, hopefully I pronounced his name right this time. He is an retired NFL quarterback. He played for the Green Bay Packers and he wanted to give back to his university, University of Southern Mississippi. He's from Mississippi. And he's allegedly has used millions of dollars that were meant for the poorest communities. Specific one program was TANF, right? And this provides assistance to people that need it. We find out a little bit more about Brett, about his past, and there's also more money that was used not only for the volleyball center, but like a football center or something too. So we have to look into that. Vital Vibe says Brett switched to a different league. Welfare games. Hopefully you saw the post that I made. Someone posted an article and the title was Brett Favre is the welfare queen that the Republicans talk about, right? Definitely. So let's get into this. Let me share my screen because I'm trying to I got to find all of the articles. That's what I was kind of looking at right before then. So let's just start with this one. And this one gets into the history. Hopefully we can see this. Do I need a membership? Hold on. I could see this on my phone earlier. Let me see if I can still see it on my computer. I'll log in with Facebook. Why do I have to log into this? It's so weird. Okay, so this is from New York Magazine. This was a post about Brett Favre, and it's titled "Brett Favre was always pretty awful." So I want to get into this. I want to look at this with you, and let's just learn about what happened. So I'm going to pull this up. Hopefully you can still hear me. Okay. So this one is headlined "Brett Favre was always pretty awful." Says one could make an argument that sports blogs, and by extension, the entire modern sports internet, really came into their own thanks to Brett Favre. They were summoned into existence so fans could make public what they have been yelling at their TVs in private for years, and no one ever made you want to yell at your TV more than Brett Favre. His style of play certainly has something to do with it. Favre was the ultimate let's do it and be legends lunatic as a quarterback, blessed with a howitzer of an arm and ceaseless, almost megalomaniacal, that's a long word, confidence in it. There was no throw Favre didn't think he could make, often to his team's detriment. He still holds the NFL all-time interceptions record at 336, and with each passing year, his mark seems more and more untouchable. Only one active quarterback, Tom Brady, who's 28th all-time, is within 130 of him. Despite playing 3 more seasons, the final postseason interception of Favre's career, when he was trying to lead the Vikings to the Super Bowl, remains one of the worst and most profoundly stupid passes in NFL history. You can actually hear the souls of Vikings fans being sucked out of their bodies in this video. Okay, we're not going to watch that video. And I find this funny, even though I don't follow sports like that. But what truly made you want to throw a brick through the TV was the way the broadcasters treated him. Favre was mistake prone. I'm not going to say that word. But heedlessly self-destructive and so pig-headed that you wondered if his brain was capable of consuming and retaining new information. But to the broadcasters of his games and the media who covered him, Favre was a foolhardy hothead. He was a gunslinger. That was the term they always used, gunslinger. He wasn't he wasn't imprecise. He he wasn't imprecise and impulsive. He just trusted his gut. Favre was forever elevated to a sort of frontier sheriff, the final justice cowboy of a mythical western. Other teams had stats and game plans, and rational decision making. Favre's teams had Favre. And Favre ate it all up, acting the homespun Mississippi boy who was just drawing plays in the dirt out there. He was so wrong, every bit of indulgent drama out of his career, what team he might sign with next, whether he was going to support his successor, Aaron Rodgers, whether he was going to retire or unretire or retire again. Interesting. So let's get into more. But now it seems he has done something unethical enough that nobody, not his lawyer, not his lawmaker friends, not his one-time legion of defenders in the press, is making excuses for him anymore. That's what we think. I haven't seen that much media hits, but until like literally yesterday. Favre enmeshed in a truly outrageous scandal in Mississippi, where local newspapers have reported that he not only sought and received public funds for the construction of a volleyball stadium for his daughter's team at the University of Southern Mississippi, also his alma mater, but he transferred those funds from welfare programs meant for the poorest citizens of one of America's poorest states. Now, I want to highlight that someone left me a comment and said I was basically misrepresenting the state of Mississippi and I shouldn't be talking about it. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to bring myself up. Here's the thing. No, I don't live in Mississippi, but I do live in the United States. And typically when another state is going through something or there's a scandal, people from all over the country are going to talk about it. So yes, I am concerned. But in terms of Mississippi, no, I don't have affiliations to Mississippi. Do I know people that live there? Yes. One of my favorite YouTubers, shout out to Gwen, she lives in Mississippi. So no, I don't have anything against Mississippi, and I'm not trying to say the whole state is just impoverished, but out of all the states, based on income levels, like this has been reported by CNBC, yeah, incomes are really low there. These are the people that need the money most. Why, like, out of every state that there would be this type of scandal, why would you do this to your own people, right? And that's my stance on it. Hello, Laura. Hello. Vital Vitals all ears. What Brett was that thick-headed? Listen, I'm learning as well. I'm learning. It's crazy. So they're saying it's not just that Favre wanted the money. It's that he knew what he was doing looked extremely shady and was desperate not to get caught. To make matters worse, he also suggested the prison industry as a possible builder for the facility. So these are the articles we have to get into as well. And then I also want to get into the history that was highlighted about SA and Brett Favre as well. It has an interesting history. It's kind of crazy. So this article, I'm not highlighting it right now. Let me pull myself down. There's another article that basically highlights former Governor Phil Bryant helped Brett Favre secure welfare funding for USM volleyball stadium text reveal. So there's actual text where they're communicating and they're highlighted. So I'm going to pull that up so that we all can look at it and you can make your determination of if he knew what was happening or if he didn't, because initially folks were kind of saying, well, maybe he didn't know. But it definitely looks incriminating that he knew. So these are the text messages. These are August 3rd, 2017, right? So they're noting here who said what first, right? So Favre says, if you were to pay me, is there any way the media can find out where it came from and how much? If you're not doing anything wrong, what are you worried about the media attention? Now, I can see if you were giving out the kindness of your heart, like some people, and you just want to be anonymous, that's different. Nancy New says, no, we never have had that information publicized. I understand you being uneasy about that, though. Let's see what happens on Monday with the conversation with some of the folks at Southern. Maybe it will click with them, hopefully. He says, okay, thanks, Brett Favre. This is what Mississippi Today is reporting. The other article we were looking at was from New York Magazine, what they were reporting. So Nancy New says, wow, just got off the phone with Phil Bryant, exclamation point. He is on the board with us. We will get this done. Brett says, awesome. I needed to hear this for sure, or that for sure. There are some other text messages that get even worse. Let me see if I can find them. I'm going to pull them up on another screen. But it's not that he didn't know what was going on. Because the other people, incriminated in this case have said they're guilty, right? So let me find that section where it says that. So it says, touched up the then governor, even guided Favre on how to write a funding proposal so that it could be accepted by the Mississippi Department of Human Services, even after Bryant ousted the former welfare agency director, John Davis, for suspected fraud. And then they're highlighting those texts. Nancy New was the founder of the nonprofit, it shows. That's kind of crazy to think that they could just get away with this. And I feel like he is getting away with it, right? He got away with it. Now they're just asking for him to pay the money back. So New, a friend of Bryant's wife, Deborah, ran a nonprofit that was in charge of spending tens of millions of flexible federal welfare dollars outside of public view. What followed was the biggest public fraud case in the state history, according to the state's auditor's office. Nonprofit leaders had misspent at least $77 million in funds that were supposed to help the needy, forensic auditors found. New actually pleaded guilty to 13 felony counts related to the scheme, and Davis awaits trial. But neither Bryant nor Favre have been charged with any crime. So that was reported by the Mississippi Today article that was on September 13th. But there's also a new article highlighted as well. So I want to get into, let me see if I can find the scandal that he was a part of. And here it is. This is highlighted by The Week. So apparently he was in a scandal too, and I hadn't heard about it, but I've been hearing about the guy that's the coach of the Celtics. I have heard about that. I haven't heard about this guy. So let me hide this. Stopping, and I'm going to reshare. And then I'm going to get off of here because I don't want this video to be too long. And okay. So this is the article that is highlighting Brett Favre's sexting scandal. So the NFL wants to know whether the legendary quarterback harassed women on the job. Will this finally force him out of football? Now, this was posted. I don't think this was recent. Let me see. Yeah, this was 2015. So the NFL has launched an investigation into allegations that Minnesota Vikings quarterback Brett Favre sent inappropriate messages and photos to at least one woman who worked for the New York Jets when he played for the team in 2008. The scandal began when the sports blog Deadspin has been following Brett Favre a lot. So they included voicemails and nudes, below the waist photos from someone former Jets game day hostess Jen Sturger reportedly believed was Favre, a married father and grandfather. Favre, who has declined to comment, has bounced back from controversy before, including reports of heavy drinking, an addiction, I'm not going to say that word, but an addiction to something, hopefully you can see that, and 2 temporary retirements. But if these charges prove true, will the scandal finally sink him? Well, clearly it didn't, because he's got tons of brands. He's been working with brands, so no, it must not have. This could wreck the rest of Favre's career and his legacy. He's still in the NFL Hall of Fame. Unless the investigation goes Favre's way, his legacy could be irreparably tarnished. And if what happens to Tiger Woods post-sex scandal golf game is any indication, that embarrassment and distraction could wreck his performance on the field. So this is what they were reporting in 2015. Some folks were saying stay out of Brett Favre's private life, leave the man alone. An alleged smoking gun voicemail left by someone who may or may not be Brett Favre. A man merely says he is alone in his hotel room and would like some company. So what? Favre's wife has a right to ask about this, but nobody else. Just because you're a diehard football fan does not mean you owe the players their personal lives. Here's the thing. I actually, to some extent, I feel like, with the whole scandals in terms of cheating, and I do feel like it's a little bit much to know about every person's, scandal, because at the end of the day, it's who are the people that's really affected. It's going to be that man, that woman, and that other woman. Or in the case of Will Smith and Jada, that woman, that man, and the other man, right? So if they're okay with it, that's fine. Do whatever you all are doing. I think with the case, like a lot of people are talking about this, what is it, Celtics coach? I think with that, there's not a lot of detail, but it sounds like he violated a specific policy that they have in play where you're not fraternizing or dating with, people you work with. Generally, that's not a good idea. I know people do it and some people have success with it, but generally it's not a good idea to do anyway. But, and that is that's a good point. I think that's a good point. But Adam Levine, he was highlighted for his Instagram post. He was kind of dragged through the mud. Vito Vibe says he definitely done that, and they was in cahoots with him. The rich always look for loopholes to continually stay wealthy. Yeah, but if someone that actually needs help, or even someone maybe they're just trying to get by, get an extra, I don't know, $500 a month or something, right? They're demonized for that, but they also really need the help. You're looking at a man with Brett Favre. He's made millions and millions just from playing football. And then on top of that, he's got, his brand deals and stuff. So at that level, there's plenty of people doing it. I just want to know who else was doing this. I'm sure there's plenty of people. They just haven't been caught yet. We don't know about them. Favre backed it up. They pondered on Brett, but but if he was black, he would have been ripped from his title nugget. You know what? What happened to, what's his name? The golf guy, Tiger Woods. Because I do think there is a double standard. And I feel like the double standard, I think it can be about race for sure. And it can also be about your connections and the politics, right? Your buddy with important people. And that's typically not a ton of black people, right? So I think that's a big part of it too. Who are you friends with? Oh, you're friends with this person. No, we can't do that to them. We got to keep this on the rocks. Okay. And then there was another article that I wanted to pull up. I don't know. I saw it on my phone and now I can't find it. If I can't find it, I might have to just make another video. Let's see. But it was basically highlighting, I think it was from the Daily Mail. Maybe I can find it. I might be able to find it. But there was something else, and it was highlighting that he wasn't only using funds for this volleyball center, but he was also trying to build something new. He was trying to get some more funds. So that I'll have to talk about in another video because I'm not finding it. Let me see here. Hold on, let me just see if I can search it real quick and if it'll come up. Now there are more people talking about it, so it's at least getting the media attention it deserves. Brett Favre. Let's see. Okay, this one says, this is from USA Today. So the highlight is the texts are basically showing Brett Favre also was seeking welfare money for the Southern Mississippi football facility. So we talked about the volleyball facility, but he was also looking for funds for the football facility. So I'm just going to highlight this here so you know what I'm seeing. I'll put the links in the comment section, of course. But it's this by USA Today. So credible source. Let me remove this. Hey, Teddy, what's up? I see your comment, Vital Bites. Oh, oh man. Okay, so this is the other article. So USA Today is saying they're highlighting the text. They're saying Brett Favre. Oh, how did it just go away? Hold on. I just clicked on something. Okay. So Brett Favre also sought welfare money for Southern Mississippi football facility. So that was published Monday, I think. That's a weird picture. So this is Jackson, Mississippi. After Mississippi spent millions of dollars in welfare money on Brett Favre's pet project, a university volleyball arena, the retired NFL quarterback tried 2 years later to get additional cash from the state's welfare agency for another sports facility. New court documents show. The governor at the time, Republican Phil Bryant, texted in 2019 with Favre, who wanted to build an indoor practice facility for the University of Southern Mississippi's football team. Bryant told him federal money for children and low-income adults is tightly controlled, and improper use could result in violation of federal law. I remember seeing that on the text messages. Text messages between Bryant and Favre were in court documents filed Friday by Bryant's lawyers, which seek, see if I can pull them up, which seek to show the governor was willing to help Favre raise private money for the volleyball facility starting in 2017 and was unaware for more than 2 years that welfare money was going to the project. Mississippi's largest public corruption case is what they're saying. The state has filed a civil lawsuit against Favre and others to recover more than $20 million in misspent welfare money intended to help needy people in one of the country's poorest states. Of course, they're highlighting that over and over because I do think that's important. Like, you know, like if you're going to do this, but like you're going to do this to your own people and you're from Mississippi, you know, well, maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he never had it hard, you know, in life. Maybe he just, you know, doesn't care. And I feel like there's plenty of people out there that never had it hard. They don't see that, and they don't care about people that are in need. That does happen. Anyway, so let me see if I can find any other text messages. I did share some of them. Ooh. So this is a court document, but it's not the text message that I saw. Hold on. Yeah, that's not what I saw before, so I'm not going to pull it up. So that's weird. The other thing I did see, the other article, it was the Daily Mail. Let me see if I can find it. The Daily Mail, Brett Favre. I'll just put in here. Harassment? So this was the article. This might not have been the article, but it was something similar to this. So this one says, hopefully you can see it, Brett Favre accused of sexual harassment by another masseuse days after his sister is arrested for, I'm not going to say that word, just for YouTube. After confirming his retirement from the NFL following a 20-year career, Brett Favre has been accused of, I'll just say SH, a masseuse. 2 Long Island massage therapists sued Favre's former team, the New York Jets, claiming SH by the quarterback. And now a Minnesota woman has claimed she received the suggestive text message, probably what we were looking at before. The allegations come days after Favre's sister, Brandy, was one of 5 people arrested in Mississippi after police discovered a substance laboratory, an illegal substance, right? In a message to sports gossip website Deadspin, independent masseuse Stephanie Dusenberry said she was considering legal action against Favre, whose name she incorrectly spelled as Brent. I'm a massage therapist in Minnesota and worked for the Minnesota Vikings during 2006. Oh, this goes deep. He's just been doing all kinds of crazy stuff. This guy has been doing all kinds of crazy things. So 2006 season, and then started my own business, Therapist of Pro Athletes, in 2007, and have continued to work with several players since. I received a text from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, phone number saying, "This is Brent with the Vikings. Do you have time to work on me tonight? No hurry, I'm alone." Oh, that's weird. That makes me think, like, what kind of business is this? What? Anyway, I told him I would not come to his house, and he said, "You don't know what it's like to not be touched by a woman for 3 weeks. Come over, and no one needs to know." Oh, that's gross. Favre, 41, is one of the NFL's most decorated players and filed his retirement papers this Monday after years of to and fro over his exit from the playing field. "I know it's time, and that's okay. It is. Again, I hold no regrets." I hope, oh gosh, I'm getting tongue tied. I've been talking too long. "Again, I hold no regrets, and I can't think of too many players offhand that have walked away and said that. Individually and from a team standpoint, it was more than I've ever dreamed of." He's talking about his, I guess, retiring from the game. So that's interesting. So not only do we have this scandal with the money, the fraud, misusing welfare funds, we have that case where women have come out against this guy and said he's just been inappropriate. And we have that initial article that kind of just highlighted his behavior in general. It just wasn't a likable person. So I will continue following it. I'm just interested to see, like, okay, are they actually going to do something to this guy? Like, what's going to happen to him? We'll see. But that's what I have. That's what I've seen today. 505. 505 says, so he's getting funding for facilities and keeping the proceeds. We call it. Yes, he also received money. Another report had shown that he received money for speaking engagements, but allegedly never actually did those speaking engagements. So the money's just flying, but it's being misused. Like it was for a particular program, TANF. So anyway, I'm going to close this out. Thanks for watching. I think I'm going to put this one in the membership vault. I need to edit it and probably cut it up and slice and dice it. So the full live streams are always available to my members. Shout out to Teddy, one of my members. And Vital Vibe says, Brett, he could do anything. Brett still loves his skills, but morally, yikes. Yeah, morally questionable. The J Jordan says, hello, welcome to J Jordan. Hopefully you're well. Oh goodness. See, I can't have that up there. Yeah, this is a family-friendly show. This is a family-friendly YouTube channel. Ish, right? I don't know if this is super family friendly, but I think it's important to talk about it because this is kind of the person that we're talking about. It's not just the welfare fraud, but he's been in the news for other questionable things as well. This is just the biggest deal. This is a huge scandal. So with that, I'll close it out. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.